that bokeh from a flippin' point and shoot. Today we've got a bit of a vlogging test with a brand new camera of mine, the much anticipated Canon G7x Mark III. So the big deal with this Mark III was the autofocus. I now have updated the firmware to the version 1.02, I think it is. How's the autofocus handling here? I have it on face tracking mode. I can see it's tracking me, but is this autofocus actually doing its job, or is this firmware update bit of a lemon? I'm using an external microphone on this Canon G7X. This is the Saramonic XM1. In my opinion, the best microphone that you could possibly get for this little point and shoot camera. Obviously now with the Mark III, it has a mic input, and that was what the Mark II and Mark I were missing in a big way. Today I'm out in New Zealand. And I'm just about to climb this giant flippin' rock. Of course, on a camera, the giant rock never looks like a giant rock, but believe me, it's big.
No. Much easier going up than down.
There's a quick way down, but you won't like it. And we started the climb up Lion Rock. Steep little bastard, I can tell you that. But the views at the top, well, not quite at the top. You can't get to the top because of unstable ground and falling rocks. But the views from even most of the way up to the top should be pretty decent. So with the stabilizer enabled in this camera, I'm now walking up a bunch of steps. How stable is it? The IS I have set to high, which on my Canon G7X Mark I, it only had a standard setting. This is high, and that's why it's cropping into my face a little bit more than usual. If I take the image stabilization off, or to put it to a lower mode, there will be a wider field of view. This is tiring work. I hope this microphone's picking up my panting well enough. Bunch of flippin' spoil sports. There's still a whole lot of rock ahead. And I'm back down off the rock. So this zoom on the Canon G7x, very handy thing. I think it's got like a 24 to 100 millimeter range, and as you can see, it does quite a good job. At the top it captures just enough. I could do it a little bit wider, to be honest. If this lens was a 21mm, I would be a lot more happy with it. 24mm just about does the job, especially when you're cropping in though, because of the image stabilization. A 21mm would give me just a little more real estate. At the moment it's a little bit cropped in, and whenever I vlog, I'm walking. I have no time to stand around and waste time. I'm always on the move. So image stabilization, how has it been doing? I'm gonna take a little bit of a walk here on this beach. Now I'm walking quite quickly. I have this on a small little tripod, handheld tripod mounted underneath the camera. Although I've got it angled at a little bit of an angle forwards, so the camera is a little further away from me. If I straighten my arm right out, I get a little extra real estate as well. But walking like that, it's just not really what you want to do. So I can bend my arm, crook it in a little bit, and this is what I have. I would usually use this camera though on a bit of a monopod. I find that the monopod helps with stabilization as well, and I will do another test of that very soon. But in this mode, like this, in its current smallest possible form factor, just a little monopod underneath the camera and the small Saramonic XM1 mic, which, like I said, the best microphone for this camera that's not a wireless mic, like for instance the Rode Wireless Go, would probably do an even better job of this. But this little microphone has a 90-degree elbow in it, a bendable elbow, so you don't have to use an adapter to get the microphone to face towards you. It faces towards me now, and if I'm behind the camera I can just flip it around and it'll face towards me as well, and I can do commentary on whatever it is that I'm looking at. Another big win with this camera is it has a built-in ND filter. It's a very cloudy, overcast day at the moment, and most of my other vlogging cameras tend to blow out in these particular conditions. It is sunny, but the sun is being diffused through the clouds, and generally most of my cameras will overexpose. I am using this one on manual settings at the moment, and with the ND filter it should be just cutting it down enough. I'm hoping that there's enough dynamic range. At the moment I'm under a tree in the shade, and it looks like my face is a little bit dark under there. Was there enough high dynamic range to get the detail in my face? Remains to be seen. But for the most part I'm not walking under trees at the moment. If I'm walking under a lot of trees and changing light conditions, I will turn this camera to auto, because it does a fairly good job in that mode. Either that, or I'll turn it to camera mode, and it will do a good job of altering its picture to suit the conditions.